All right, here's our checkpoint. So again, we want to find the reference angles for all three of these angles of theta. So again, pause it, calculate it, and then come back and see if you got the right answer. All right, so here we go. So part A, we got theta is equal to 213 degrees. This is definitely in the third quadrant. So now, since we know it's in the third quadrant, we're going to use theta prime equals theta minus 180 degrees, since we're dealing with degrees, which is going to equal 213 minus 180 degrees, okay? And so we get 43 degrees. Or no, not 43. 33. And that's it. And now here we got for part B, theta is in radians, so it's 14 pi over 9. Okay, now 14 pi over 9 is less than 2 pi, right? Or excuse me, yeah, less than 2 pi. Okay, to be 2 pi would have to be 18 pi over 9. So it's less than 2 pi, but it is bigger than pi over 2. Or hold on a second, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's less than 2 pi. It's bigger than pi, right? So it's bigger than pi. It's less than 2 pi. So this would have to be in the third quadrant. Or hold on a second. It's bigger than pi, but is it bigger than 3 pi over 4? And it is. So this would be in the fourth quadrant. Right? And the easiest way to see that is just write this as what? We want this, right? So we've got to find that. And what do we get? We get 56 over 9. And that gives us 5, about 5. Or 6. So it's well over 3 pi over 4. So it's going to be in the fourth quadrant. Okay. Again, once you know which quadrant it is, oh, you could transform this into degrees as well and see that it's in the fourth quadrant as well. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use the formula. Now that we know it's in the fourth quadrant, we're going to use the formula of what? It's going to be equal to 2 pi minus theta, which is going to equal 2 pi minus 14 pi over 9. And so I'm going to make this into 18 pi over 9, right? So I can subtract them. And so what do I get? I get 4 pi over 9 as my reference angle. Okay, now the part C. Part C gives me another angle, theta in radians. So now this is actually 4 pi over 5. So this is less than pi, so we're could be in the second quadrant, but is it bigger than pi over 2? Yes, it's bigger than pi over 2, but it's less than pi, so we're in the second quadrant. Okay, so now we're going to use theta prime is equal to pi minus 4 pi over 5. And again, I'm going to rewrite this, or actually, hold on a second. Let me stick with my formulas. Okay, now this is going to be equal to pi minus 4 pi over 5. Okay, and I'm going to rewrite this as 5 pi over 5, right? And so now I subtract and I get pi over 5. And that's my reference angle. Okay. Great job if you got the right answers. If you did not get the right answers, make sure you check to see where you made your mistakes and make sure you always practice.